Welcome. This is Ally Seraphim of Shamaniccollective. I would like to tell you a bit about crystal technology, and more specifically, Vogel crystals. What if I told you that there is such a thing as a technology that could heal trauma and suffering? Well, there is. The problem is that many are unaware of the fact that we can create this energy with our thoughts, our intentions, and our words. This information has finally been proven by science with experiments such as the double slit experiment. It demonstrates that little particles of matter have something of a wave about them and suggests that the very act of observing a particle has a dramatic effect on its behavior, thus affecting the outcome through the observer's expectation. We can also point out how the placebo effect has had scientists baffled for so long. This just confirms that a person's expectation through a strong belief will drastically affect their reality. Dr. Masaru Emoto has also been at the forefront of sharing similar knowledge by showing us with his water experiments how different vibrations and sound can literally change the molecular structure of water. First of all, a quartz crystal is formed out of a pyramidal structure at its molecular state, thus transferring a much higher spectrum of light through it than any other substance that appears to look exactly the same, such as glass. Throughout history, people have been finding pyramids all over the world. Pyramids are a type of perfect geometry, and when the tip of the pyramid is cut with a 51-degree angle, it can harness universal energy. A pyramid can represent the 5 elements: fire, water, earth, air, and ether. What is a crystal? At the most basic, a quartz crystal is composed of silicon and oxygen, most of which come naturally as a 6-sided prism of pure light energy containing the whole color spectrum known as the perfect jewel. Since ancient times, crystals have been used and highly valued by spiritual leaders, healers, as well as scientists. The word crystal, clear quartz, which is pure silicon dioxide, also can be called ice crystal, from the Greek word crystallos, which means ice, because it was believed to be water frozen so solid that it could never thaw. It can also be called frozen spirit. The rate in which a crystal vibrates is 786,000 pulses per millisecond, and its continuum actually moves faster than the speed of light. Crystals are made of energy, and this energy can affect the human aura. As Dr. Emoto proved scientifically that words are energy and can affect the structure of water, what happens if your words and thoughts, along with your aura and a clear crystal cut into a perfect geometry, are combined? A Vogel crystal can substantially amplify a person's thoughts and intentions, therefore making manifestations much easier if used properly. Vogel crystals are cut with the very same angles as the Great Pyramids of Giza, giving the crystal the enhanced ability to pull in energy from the receiving female end and then to be beamed out of the focal male point. Dr. Marcel Vogel was a research scientist with IBM for many years and holds a number of patents in the field of luminescence. He spent his later years exploring the powers of quartz crystals by experimenting and testing the effects the crystals had on plant life and much more. In short, what he found was that if a precisely cut quartz crystal takes in energy at the receptive end, it amplifies it as it circulates inside the crystal, hitting each polished facet around it internally to then be transmitted out of the focal point. This creates lasers of energetic frequencies that can literally affect the vibration of matter. The more clarity and the more sides cut into the crystals, the more application of energy, creating a faster vortex spin. Visualization is key. The more specific your imagination is, the more effective the outcome will be. Dr. Marcel Vogel brought back this ancient Atlantean Phi technology after receiving visions and dreams on how to cut crystals in the same shape as the geometric tree of life. Both Nikola Tesla and Marcel Vogel were in contact with higher realms of consciousness, allowing them to tap into and develop such innovative technologies. All of these great scientists, including Dr. Emoto, were spiritual scientists, and they were bringing back lost information to better serve this world. Before Atlantis was destroyed, spiritually evolved people knew there would come a time when all this information would be lost and hidden from the masses. So they gathered together to program their knowledge into crystals to then bury them deep within the earth. They knew that one day the right people would find these crystals and tap into this lost information. Ultimately, the intent was to assist in this process of a great transition. The same people that destroyed Atlantis still exist today and are sometimes known as the Illuminati. They are using secret atmospheric weapons known as chemtrails and HAARP to wage war on the spirit of our planet. We are all being exposed to a substantial amount of toxins that are cancer-causing chemicals and endocrine disruptors. Because of this, many of us have been affected by it, causing a dysfunctional energy system within the body, forcing chakras to become blocked, so then creating sickness and disease much quicker. I cannot stress how important it is to be consistently clearing yourselves of toxins and negative energies by doing things such as parasite cleanses and eating living foods. It is a war on consciousness, and it is very serious, whether people would like to accept it or not. Over time, humankind has been victimized by trauma and sickness because of the mass hysteria this has been creating. Many generations before us were taught that by taking more chemicals, they will heal. And this is part of a program that has proven very effective in keeping us in the dark for so long, but is now in the process of being disabled. Because of this programming, there are those that remain blinded from many things that are going on, but it is up to us to first lead by example. All of this has given the dark forces on this planet the upper hand until now, and I am here to say that their time is up. The ancient Hopi prophecy of the Rainbow Warriors tells about a tribe of people who have activated their rainbow light bodies so they are able to heal and assist the planet during this time of confusion and transition. Many of us have come here specifically to do this mission in the awareness that it will heal all that has been distorted by the Dark Ones. A rainbow warrior using a 144-sided Atlantean Phi crystal is the equivalent of 144,000 prayers focused into a powerful laser. These lasers can be used to affect the micro levels of DNA to the macrocosmic levels of the universe. This is a spiritual battle. It is a war on nature, life, and sovereignty. Atlantean Phi crystals, when clear and cut precisely, have irrefutable abilities to restructure as well as pull negative energies out of the spiritual, mental, emotional, and physical bodies. They also have the ability to greatly assist in performing earth grid healing by using them at sacred sites, grid lines, and vortices, which can be like doing acupuncture on a body with amplified Reiki. We live in an age of information, and ignorance is a choice. There is a cure for everything on earth, but we cannot solve the problems of the world with the same level of consciousness that created them. By actively working on healing ourselves, it can bring forward more of the universal life force energy that has been under attack for so long, so we can begin to heal others around us and the planet by restructuring and reprogramming both conscious and subconscious levels of all living things back to a natural, more harmonious state. This is done by simply changing your own personal vibration within to then affect the world around you by vibrating so high that others do not have a choice but to be affected and to unconsciously start to match your vibration. Your outer worlds mirror your inner worlds. As within, so without. Personally, for me, this tool has proven to be very effective in amplifying energy and affecting large geographical areas, and to even create rain when needed has been proven to be quite remarkable. For example, back in May of 2016, we worked on bringing rain to Alberta's Fort McMurray during the greatest fire in Canadian history called the Beast. All of Alberta was getting rain except for that area at first, so we worked even harder, and by doing so brought massive flooding to the area. This was a very devastating time for Alberta because many people were displaced without food or shelter, but luckily because of the rain, many were left with only flooding damage rather than their homes being completely destroyed. Since then, after working with these crystals almost every day, I've released a ton of trauma. Trauma coming from past lives, my childhood, trauma that was passed down from generations before me even, that most people don't even realize they carry. These forms of trauma were very subtle. They were disguised as different thought forms, emotional imbalances, habits, and the way that I saw the world. When I started to shed these layers, it was almost as if I could finally breathe again. I regained mental clarity, overall health, as well as a heightened ability to sense things psychically that most people could not. And also, my levels of discernment have been greatly increased, and for all of this, I am eternally grateful. This is not an easy path to walk, but in my opinion, it is the most rewarding. To be honest, quite often I feel like my life could be made into a movie because of what I have experienced so far on my journey. These tools are the wands of planetary healers, and the 144-sided is by far the most potent of all other types of Phi crystals. 144 brings in the golden ray of omnipotence. The vortex that is created with a 144-sided Atlantean Phi crystal significantly enhances communication to higher realms, guides, angels, archangels, and Mother Nature and Creator Source by amplifying your own personal frequency and vibration, allowing us to become more aligned with these higher realms of consciousness. They can also assist in having a multi-dimensional awareness, stimulating the third eye and astral travel abilities. Having a wand cut with 144 sides creates a gateway into a paradigm where you can experience your past, present, and future simultaneously, helping to see into your Akashic records and past lives, as well as information about your present lifetime that you need to be aware of in order to reach your highest calling. All of these great properties will ultimately help to unlock and regain your own personal power and sovereignty. Please note that these crystals are not the keys to unlock that which is already inside you, but may only assist in speeding up the process of amplifying your own personal God spark. And depending on each person's level of sensitivity, attunement, and awareness, and the type of crystal being worked with, the results and experiences will vary. Just like all tools, they require you spend a certain level of study and practice. They are not meant to be shelf crystals. Clearly stating your intentions while using these crystals can be very effective as long as the intent is for the good of all living things, with efforts to stay in the highest frequency and to remain within love and compassionate healing. Phi crystals must be charged and cleansed often, as well as programmed with intent. I will get into this in a future video. It is important to remember that it is you who holds the key. You are the technology, and these crystals can amplify you substantially. This is why it is so important to know yourself by first facing your own personal shadows. You can have much greater success when you are on this frequency of awareness. Protection from negative energies is essential on this path and can assist on all of this as well. Crystals can be used for protection as well as amplification, especially when worn. Marcel Vogel has also designed a pendant to do both, called the Vogel Star of David pendant. These pendants are cut into a star tetrahedron known as the Merkaba vehicle. Merkaba meaning light, spirit, body. They are cut with a protecting masculine side and a receiving feminine side. When the crystal is cut precisely, it can act as a sort of antenna to all that is and connect you with your higher self and creator source while amplifying your own personal energy. Please visit Shamaniccollective.com to make your order. There are many beautiful pieces to choose from, set in your choice of gold or silver. I get so many questions from people wondering why these crystals are so expensive. Why are these crystals so expensive? Well, it's because natural quartz that is completely optical, that is big enough to cut into a 144-sided Vogel crystal, is extremely rare to find. That, along with the fine precision cut of these crystal wands, is what makes them hard to come by. Cutting these crystals is a very delicate process and takes a lot of work and concentration. Our master craftsman crystal cutter Ray has revolutionized Vogel crystals with his 144-sided Atlantean Phi crystals for our modern day and age, as we are ever evolving so quickly. He is definitely one of a kind. Years ago, he was visited by Marcel Vogel himself in his dreams, telling him how to create these beautiful new pieces with different facets and more sides. Ray tells us that before he starts to cut a crystal, it is essential that he is in the most positive vibration during the entire process. For more information about these healing tools, as well as special offers and pricing, please visit our website at www.Shamaniccollective.com. For all inquiries or comments, please contact us directly by clicking on one of the options located in the contact menu on the site. Peace and harmony to you all, and thank you for watching.